Welcome back to my YouTube channel, students. Today we are going to learn the last half of the lesson, the glimpses of the past. So let us start the last half of the lesson. So you can see all the pictures. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, one of the great social reformer during 18th century, had preaching the people for the development of our nation. So from 1772 to 1833, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he was called, started his efforts to reform Indian society. He established Brahmo Samaj for this purpose. He established the new Samaj named as Brahmo Samaj for this purpose. He propagated the Indian that the main teaching and principles of all religions are same. Whether it is Hindu, Muslim or Sikh or Isai, all the religions are having same principles. There must not be any kind of conflict between religion to religion, since we all are Indians. In that sense, he was preaching to the people. Also, he started newspaper in India. He was against evil practices such as Sati Pratha, polygamy, child marriages and the caste system. He was telling to the people in India that what all practices are going on in India are not good, and that will definitely be helpful for British people to establish their company. He played a major role in the abolishment of Sati Pratha. There was a Sati Pratha, you may be knowing what is Sati Pratha. Sati Pratha was a certain cruel process that one's husband is expired, that woman was directly thrown into the burial. Still she is living, she was not having any kind of right to live, she was directly thrown to the funeral. She was directly thrown to the funeral. Next, you can see the fifth timeline headed with the heading operation. So what does operation mean? Operation means giving bad treat to the people. Giving bad treat to the people. Between 1765 to 1835, the British East India Company, along with its soldiers, gave very bad treatment to the people in India, farmers in India, workers in India. So what did they do? You can see some of the people are jailed, some are thrown out, some become slaves, some people don't even have food to eat over there. You can see such situations into the picture. What happened in 1880? The British passed the Third Regulation Act, and according to this act, an Indian could be jailed even without any trial in the court. This was a phase of oppression of the Indians. Means what? If any person is going against the regulation acts of East India Company, that person will be jailed without trial in court. Means he will not be having any right to go to court against the oppression. So this was the phase of oppression of Indian people, and by 1829, the value of British exports was worth 7 crore rupees. So what is the value of British export? Was 7 crore rupees in 1829, while the Indian industries were ruining. While the Indian industries were ruining, means what? They were getting down, they were getting closed. The British were prospering. Indians were becoming poor, and the British were becoming prosper only because of this Third Regulation Act. Under this act, no Indian should have right to go against them. If they are going against the British rule, they will be jailed without trial in court. So such it seems this was not enough, so that the British now aim to preparing clerks for ruining administration. Means such kind of bad treat was being given by British people. So let us now go to the next timeline. So see the sixth timeline headed with the heading dissatisfaction between 1835 to 1856. So already I have told you, it seems this was not enough. So the British now aim to preparing clerks for running the administration. Thus, what did they do? In 1835, there was a person named as Lord Macaulay. There was a person named as Lord Macaulay recommended that the medium of education should be English. Though the Indian were taking different education in different language, he said that the medium of education should be English. And this education policy also generated some intellectuals who understood the evils of British Raj and educated the fellow Indians. So Lord Macaulay started to make the education in India in English, and that causes by 1856 India had become a fully controlled British colony. Means everywhere, somewhere English schools and all, and in that way India had become fully British controlled colony. The separation was at its peak. Separation means giving borderness. Separation was at its peak, and thus it led to revolts. Thus it led to revolts. Means the people were giving bad treatments, and they were in unbearable conditions. They were, in the sense, Indian people were in unbearable conditions that led to revolts. So now look at the seventh timeline, which was headed as the sparks between 1855 to 1857. So looking at this operational treatment given by the British people, the maximization in property of British people, and the growing slavery, looking at this all, the Indian people started to have revolution against the British people. For that purpose, you can see the different pictures over here. Different Indian people are ready to fight with them. Some of the people are going against the British policemen. So such kind of situation was created by the Indian people. For that purpose, the Indian sepoys started to go against the British people, and everybody started to say that we must drive out Angrez. Everybody started to say that we must drive out Angrez. Whole Indian people started to be united with each other to go against British East India Company. In 1855, the Santals rebelled and killed the British as well as their servants. You may be known that in 1857, the first Sipahi mutiny started. The first Sipahi war was started with the execution of Mangal Pandey. So Mangal Pandey was a person who was organizing the people together, who was working under British services. But looking at this operational treatment by the British people, she started to execute the people, and the Sepoys marched towards Delhi shouting slogans in favor of Bahadur Shah Jafar. So there was a king of Delhi named as Bahadur Shah Jafar. So Mangal Pandey took the Sepoys along with him and started to march towards Delhi in the favor of Bahadur Shah Jafar. The landlords also joined the movement, because many landlords' land was taken away from the British people. People circulated chapatis with the message that their native ruler needs their help. People started to circulate chapati, and this thing, what is the main purpose of circulating chapati? That all the Indian people should come together to drive out the Angrez people. Similarly, a lotus flower was also distributed among the Indian soldiers. So whoever Indian soldiers were there, they were also given one more lotus flower. If you should have a lotus flower, or chapatis means you all are together and we will all together fight against the British rule. So students, now we will directly go back to the 9th timeline, which is headed as the fight for freedom in 1857. You can see here over here many rulers like Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow. You can see she is the princess of Lucknow, Hazrat Mahal, Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad. You can see in the next picture Tatya Tope. You can see down, and Peshwa Nana Sahib of the Maratha Empire and Kuwar Singh of Bihar also joined the revolt along with Mangal Pandey. So children, this is what the last timeline of the glimpses of the past lesson, which is headed with revolt 1857. You can see over here that in the first picture you can see then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. So Meerut is a place nearby Delhi. There all the sepoys, Indian sepoys, along with different landlords and kings, queens and princes, all together started to fight violently against British people. You can see the strength over there. Look at the next picture. The sepoys marched to Delhi. So long live our emperor Bahadur Shah. It is written in a speech bubble. So there was the king named as Bahadur Shah. In favor of him, all the people clubbed together in court of the king. The rebellion spread wider and wilder. So see here all the Indian rebellions going against the British people and killing them for making them to move their country. Many landlords had lost their lands because of British policies and they were sore. The white man's rule must end. Yes, we will help you. And again, all the landlords who had lost their land because of the British policies, they too came together along with all these sepoys, and all together with great force fought with the British people. And this is what the beginning of we can say it, the first war of Indian independence. It can also be called as Sepoys War. So at the end, I would like to tell you that this chapter teaches us that united we stand and divided we fall. And as well, it also teaches us that in order to be successful in anything we do, we need to be organized. We need to be organized. So this is what the end of this chapter. I hope you have understood this chapter. Have a good day.